Hey everybody, it's Vince from Spradley Kia here in Southern Colorado, and today I am going to go over the 2023 plug-in hybrid Sportage X-Line all-wheel drive version in Vesta Blue with black interior. I have picked one of the chilliest days of the year so far to be doing this, but I haven't done some content in a while, and I want to get this car done before the customer comes and picks it up. So it's kind of already clean on the outside and ready to go. So here we go. Just right up front, I love the daytime running lights on this vehicle with that really cool boomerang shape. Daytime running lights, and then you have your LED headlamps right there. You have Kia's Tiger Nose grille right across the front, and Kia's signature badging just right there, big and bold on the front of the car. I personally am a big fan of these cars. My wife has one, and she loves it. It's excellent gas mileage, especially if you're kind of using it as a daily driver within that 35 mile of pure electric range. I mean, she's averaging 150 miles per gallon in some cases. It just all depends upon how you drive it. But she's literally averaging 150 miles per gallon with that vehicle. This one is really cool. Love the Vesta Blue color. We're gonna try and go through this pretty quickly and then get inside the vehicle because it's cold out here. I do love the mirror caps, the right here, how they are black with your LED turn signals. You have your one-touch button here on the door, so if you have the key in your jacket like I do, you can press it once, press it twice. If you press it once, it'll unlock the first door. Press it twice, it'll unlock all four doors, and vice versa. So when you go to lock it, it does the same thing. I have the car on, so the heater is on in there for me, so it's not going to do that now. That beeping you heard is the car telling you, hey, the key's not in the car. So again, this is the PHeV X-Line all-wheel drive version. We do sell at MSRP here at Spradley in Southern Colorado. So if you are looking for a vehicle and you don't want to pay markup, we do sell at MSRP. I ship all the way around the country. The furthest I've ever shipped is New Jersey, and I'm actually kind of had some questions from someone in Vermont, which is kind of cool. So all because we sell at MSRP. If I could help you find a vehicle, just let me know. Right here in the back, we have the back of the Sportage. I love the redesign on this car. Last year when they said that they were redesigning it, I knew it was going to be a big hit, and we can't keep them in stock. The only reason this guy is available still is because someone backed out, and then someone is coming to get it today, which is kind of cool. All right, let's take a look at the back. So opening up the back, even on just the X-Line, you do have an automatic tailgate, which is really cool. Really big cargo space. I mean, you'd be surprised what you could fit back here. We fit our 10x10 tent for softball back here very easily. Cooler, overnight bags, really big cubby space. This one here has the carpeted mats, the little leather cargo mat, and then you have the carpeted cargo mat. That's interesting that it came like that with two sets of mats, but what do we do? Right here you have the little accessory for the net. I'm a big fan of the net, actually. I don't have it on my current car, but I've had it on my other Kias, and actually I do kind of miss it. That little net can be very handy, very useful, which is kind of cool. These back seats do have child anchor locks in all three seats. So you can see right there, all three seats have child anchor locks if you have little ones. And then you can pull this lever right here, and then that seat will go down, and we call it near flat, which is kind of cool. You have your little seatbelt hooks there, so you can keep your seatbelts out of the way. And then you have an interior light here for your trunk area, and then you have your 12 volt right there. All right, going underneath here, it's got a lot of mats, but pull this up, you have your cubby space. And since this is a plug-in hybrid Sportage, you do have your charger there. Not all chargers are created equal. That is a level 1 charger, and honestly, that guy takes a while to charge, even more so than some of the... well, I have one that I bought on Amazon for my other vehicle, and even though they're both level 1 chargers, the other level 1 charges a little faster. So not exactly a knock on Kia, but yeah, not all chargers are created equal. And I'll put a link in the description for a really cool level 1 charger that I personally use. Been using it for 2 years. Love it a lot. I really like the fact that this is remote, or where you can open it from the key fob, you can open it from the inside, and you can press that button right there. It is your automatic tailgate, which is really cool. And then you can see the camera down there also, which is really cool. You have your hidden windshield wiper, which is hidden underneath the fin. And then you also have your shark fin for your radio antenna. I love the fact that you have the roof rack rails that are very aggressive on the X-Line, which is really cool. It's also on the X-Line SX Prestige as well. And then you have on the right-hand side, this is your door. Press the door, and then it opens up here for your plug. This little guy just comes right off, and there is your level 1, level 2 charging port. Super cool, super easy. I've never had an issue. I've had an EV and a plug-in hybrid. You know, I have an EV, my wife has a plug-in hybrid. We've had it for what, almost 2 years now, going on 2 years, and never had a problem at charging stations, never had a problem charging at work, charging at home. It's definitely a lifestyle change. You gotta change your way of thinking just a little bit, but not really. But I know there's a lot of horror stories out there with people freaking out, and I don't know how much of that is, you know, everyone's everyday reality. Just want to do a side profile here, and one thing I want to do while I'm on this side of the car is open the passenger door and show you guys the passenger side. So inside the passenger side, you do not have automatic seats on the passenger side. You do have a standard bar to move you forward and backward, and then you have the little recline button there. You have the really cool soft leather, which is nice. I really do think that the leather is insanely comfortable, but you do not have automatic seating on this guy. I really love the faux wood trim here, which is always, I'm always a fan of that. And then you have your glossy black kind of everywhere. Glossy black on that side. We're gonna get more into that in a couple seconds, but just wanted to show that before we hop in the back. Hopping in the back, I'm gonna shut the door. Oh, feels much better. Okay, car is on. I don't know, when I was talking about the door for the charging port, I don't know if you heard the car kind of go into EV mode. So now that the temperature has been raised, oh, there it goes again into gas mode, or into hybrid mode. So currently I have the car set on HEV mode, which is hybrid mode, because you can switch it back and forth between hybrid and EV, but you're gonna feel the car and hear the car kind of shift back and forth. And you'll physically hear it and feel it. Okay, let's get back to the review here. So plenty of leg room. I'm 5'9 and a half, 5'10", and then plenty of leg room there. The seat is actually sitting straight up, but there is a lever right down here, which I can pull, and then I can recline. And I'll show what that looks like when I get out of the car. But I can definitely recline this seat. So if you're a taller person, or if you're going on longer trips, you do get a slight recline. You do have charging ports here for your phone. You do have little hooks back here for bags, back on the driver and back on the passenger seat. Your back passengers have air, and you also have a little cubby down there as well. You do have map pockets right here, map pockets back here. I don't even know if they call them map pockets anymore, but you do have those. Again, I love that faux wood look in this trim level. This is the black interior, obviously, and it's just something that I'm a big fan of. You do have Kia's new designed headrest right there, so it kind of looks like a little hook, which is perfect for hanging tablets, hanging coats, hanging that kind of stuff. You do have your little handles there to hold on to, and then you have a light there also. I'll show you on my side a little bit easier. So you have your handles here, you have your garment hook here, and then you have a light that you can press right there. Big, beautiful panoramic sunroof, which I'll open here once I get into the front of the vehicle, but definitely a huge, gigantic panoramic sunroof, which is very, very cool, especially around the holiday time. If you're going to go look at lights, you're going to go to those little light parades where you can have lights above you. It's really nice. You have a armrest with cup holders, super convenient for your back passengers. Hand fits pretty well there. Just goes up, a little bit of elbow room, elbow grease puts that back. And then just a little look at the back cabin there real quick. Not too shabby. Really do like this car. It fits really well for my family. I have a 18-year-old and a 16-year-old, and they can fit 5 people back here pretty comfortably. I'm a big fan of this car. I really am. It was a good choice getting this for my wife. So just coming out here, kind of taking a look at that seat. Remember I said there's a slight recline, so you can definitely see that that seat is reclined back. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on properly. You want to put the little hook for your seatbelt above that way that it keeps there. But honestly, I do see a lot of benefits having it down here. The reason being is sometimes this may rattle and you may hear it right here. So you definitely want to keep that hook positioned right, and then I really have a feeling it's dependent upon how far this thing's reclined to. So pretty nifty. All right, let's go to my favorite part of the car, which is going to be the cabin for the driver, the driver's position. Let me just kind of walk over here and show you the window sticker again and just see. It's a 1.6 liter turbo plug-in hybrid. If you want a Kia Sportage and you want the turbo, you're gonna need to get a hybrid or a plug-in hybrid. 6-speed automatic transmission with the paddle shifters, all the safety features in the world. We haven't even talked about that, but we will. 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, 5-year 60 bumper to bumper, 5-year 60 roadside assistance, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, digital, well, not digital smart key, but smart key with push button and remote start, wireless phone charger, all that jazz. This is not the top of the line version. So what you're going to be missing that the top of the line version has is you're going to be missing the air conditioned seats. You're going to be missing the heated windscreen, the heated windshield. And that is only in 2023 models. The 2024 models are on their way. I've already had training on them, and no more heated windshields. So if that is a feature you want, you need a 2023 to get it. Other than that, the car is going to largely be the same. I mean, that's pretty much really the only main difference. But let's go in here and let's take a look at this car real quick. You have, again, glossy black kind of everywhere. I don't mind it. A lot of people don't like it, but they definitely sell some covers on Amazon that you can put over there and make it carbon fiber, make it a more wood look. I've seen a whole bunch of different ways to do that. Window locks right there. One touch window controls right there. Lock, unlock mirror controls, this really cool handle which fits really well in your hand, super easy. It's a no-brainer. Down here you do have the controls for the driver's door. I'm sorry, not door. It's like this is my first video. I can't even speak today. I think it's just because it's so cold. Right there you have your controls for the driver's seat, and then you can hear the car go off again. Let's hop in. Okay. Then I could slow down a bit and gather my words. Okay. Starting left to right, you have your illumination controls right here, which can illuminate the center screens, your infotainment screen, and then your screen right in front of the driver. You have your lift gate that you can press and hold to raise the back lift gate. Traction control, that'll pop your gas cap. So your gas cap, which I did not go over, but it's on the left-hand side, that'll pop your gas cap. The electric for your electric cap on the right hand side, that is a push and pop. Electronic parking control right there, and then you have these really cool vents that I'm a big fan of. I like the shape. They do blow air pretty nicely, heated and cooled air, and I'm a big fan of that. And then let's go here to the steering wheel. So steering wheel, press this guy once and it will activate the internal controls for the Kia. It's a little cumbersome at first, but I didn't understand that. It won't. It doesn't. It's a little cumbersome at first, but it will learn how you speak. The more you talk to it, the better it will be. If you have an Apple iPhone or an Android Auto situation, if you press this guy and hold it, then it'll activate your Android Auto or your Apple CarPlay, your Siri, when you have that device hooked up. So play around with that guy. It's pretty useful. Mode is a common question. You press mode and you're going to get your audio controls here. So if you use Bluetooth, FM radio, and sounds of nature, you can check those three things, and then when you cycle through your audio options, it'll only show you those three things. So it's definitely something that you can do. This car does have Sirius XM radio, AM, FM, and all that jazz. Coming back here, you do have answer call and this star button. Anytime you see a star on these Kias, it's going to be a custom button. So I'm going to press star, and then you're going to see how you are going to have options here to make that button whatever you want. Personally, I think reject a call or end a call is nice just because it's kind of muscle memory. It shows you, you know, it's just muscle memory. Answer a call, decline a call. But anything with a star, you could make any one of these options, which is pretty cool. Car kicked on again. You can see my RPMs are at 1.3. Car is ready to drive. You have your miles per hour there on the left, total miles till empty, 122 miles till empty up top. You have your, down there where it says HEV. So HEV, that tells you you're in hybrid mode. This button right here, EV, HEV, that's the button you're going to want to use to change your drivetrains, so your modes. So press it once, I'm now in electric mode. Press it again, I'm now in automatic mode. Press it one more time, I'm now in hybrid mode. My personal train of thought is to stay in EV mode all the time. You're gonna have the regenerative braking when you're coasting, so you're gonna get energy back from your wheels when you're coasting, when you're braking, that kind of thing. So you're gonna get that. You're going to get I mean, that's going to maintain your energy level. Now, like I said, this guy has about a third. Oh, see, look, EV ready. So now climate's all settled down. I mean, there's a whole lot of factors there. The motor kicked off, the engine kicked off, and now we're just on the electronic motor. But this car is all about how you drive it. This car can be whatever you want it to be. You can do 90, that's fine. You'll feel the gas engine kick in when you hit that sudden burst of acceleration. When you level out, when you're going downhill, that's when you're gonna start regaining that energy. This bar right here is, you're never gonna see it insanely full unless, I just got this off the charger, so I made it a full charge. But you're never really gonna see it insanely full when you're just on hybrid mode. You're never gonna see it empty because you're going to be using that energy back and forth. And the beauty of a hybrid, this is a plug-in hybrid, but the beauty of a hybrid is that you don't have to plug it in anywhere. You just go and drive and then it's doing your thing. Our hybrids tend to get between 45 and 50 miles per gallon. That's super nice. Now, this is a plug-in hybrid, so you have all the advantages of the hybrid, but you have a full tank right there of about 35 miles of pure electricity. So you're driving it like an EV. So if you work from home, if you don't really have a lot of places to go, if your daily cycle of driving is 35 miles or less, or even slightly higher than that, you're gonna mainly stay on EV, or you can stay mainly on EV. And then, like, if you punch the gas, if you give it like a lot of juice, the gas engine will kick in. But the longer you stay in EV, the more that gas mileage goes up. And I kid you not, my wife can average 150. I've seen her up to 200, but that was a fluke. But she could average 150 on a good week. She does it, so I've seen it. It's not a myth. Fuel gauge right there on the right hand side. You have empty and full, obviously. And there's nothing really to explain there. Any questions on this? This is kind of, if you were in the car with me, I would stop here and ask, do you understand everything I just said about hybrid? It's you just got to change your way of thinking a little bit, but you can definitely reap those benefits. Okay, let's go down here. 2 pages button. I love the 2 pages button. This guy right here. 2 pages button takes you from left to right. So right there. Okay, it's a cold day. So here we go. It's right there on the screen. I have 90 miles of gasoline. I have 32 miles of electricity. It is 122 miles total. You can get up to about 34, 35. It's just really cold here today. It's only 28 degrees. It's a lithium ion battery, so it's temperature sensitive, extreme heat, extreme cold. There's probably whole other videos on YouTube that can explain how that process works. But this little guy right here takes you left to right. Compass. This guy, I like to keep my car on this one. It'll tell you the power distribution to your wheels, but you can also do tire pressure, engine temp. I'm changing that by using this toggle switch. So a lot of people like to be right here. You can see your average trip, your average miles per gallon. You can go down here since refueling. No one's driven this car but me. It hasn't even been to the gas station yet to fill up ever since getting off the truck. So we've only driven it at the lot. I like this screen. So this is telling you your energy distribution just on the center screen. I like the one over here on the infotainment screen, which I'll show in a bit. But did you just see that? It was showing the gas engine going into the battery. Now it's showing nothing because we're idling. But if we were on EV, you can see the electricity going into the wheels or into the electric motor. So you can kind of figure out what the car's doing. Eventually you'll get the hang of it. You'll know just by the feel, but it's a nice little display that'll tell you where your power is being distributed. Cool. Okay, you have your cruise control here, so you could just set that, and then you have your lane keep assist right there. I like lane keep assist, lane forward assist. You can see the little, right there, that little steering wheel go on and off as I press it. That guy will keep you centered in the lanes. It'll use the information from the box up there, from the sensors in the front. It's really good like on a 2-lane highway or where it's very little visibility. I mean, it's designed for that. So it'll follow the car in front of you and keep you following them. It's not 100% technology. It's not going to work the same way every single time, but I think it's insanely useful. I mean, this car is not designed to drive itself, but if you have lane forward assist, lane keep assist, your blind spot detectors, which we'll talk about in a second, and cruise control all on at the same time, I mean, this car will take slight curves for you. I mean, this car can do somewhat of an autonomous driving experience. It's not designed to, but it gets really, really close. I mean, it's not a bad vehicle at all when it comes to stuff like that. Like I was saying, you do have blind spot detectors. You can see the little triangle there in the upper left-hand corner of the mirror. When someone's in your blind spot, it'll highlight, it'll light up. And when someone's in your blind spot and you're using your turn signal, it'll beep at you as well. So let's go to the stock right here. My favorite thing of any car is auto lights. You can see right here, turning these, you can see the auto lights right there. That if you put it on auto, you'll never have to fiddle with the lights. But when you're going up and down, you can see your different light options here to cycle through that. The stock on the right hand side is going to be your windshield wiper controls. You can also do your high and low for your rear wiper there as well. I'm not going to play around with that because they cleaned the windshield and I don't want to start getting streaks on there with the weather today. There we go. Gas engine kicked in again. It's actually getting really warm in here. So I am going to go down here to the climate screen. Let's talk about climate screen. I am on climate. You can tell because this little orange fan is highlighted. I'm on high. So let's take it down a scotch. Let's take it down to like 75. I'm on 75. You can tell it's dual climate because this is lit up. And then you can see these two knobs here are your climate knobs for driver and passenger. Now, this car is an EV. Well, it's a hybrid, plug-in hybrid. So it has an EV mode. You can click driver only. So if you're driving this thing by yourself, driver only is very, very useful. It shuts off the climate on these other passenger and rear passenger vents, and it only focuses the climate on the driver, which can save you a couple of kilowatt hours, which is electricity. But if you have multiple people, just flick that guy back off, and there you go. You have your directionals right here. So that's windshield and feet, face. I'm going to keep it on feet for now. And you can sync. So let's say we're up here. I could turn that to high. Driver is at 75. I click sync. It takes you to what the driver is. You have your auto climate, your front climate, your front defrosters, rear defrosters, and recirculated air. One of my common, I won't say complaints, but what I just did. I accidentally touched auto climate and engaged the auto climate. Sometimes I'll tend to fiddle with this knob and I'll accidentally hit auto climate. I do that in my EV6. I've done it in this car. I did it right here, obviously. Just trying to not even trying to demonstrate that. So that is like one of my only pet peeves is this auto climate button right there. You kind of have to turn these blower speeds down to turn that off, and then to change my directionals to auto instead of being at feet again. So a little cumbersome there, but I only do it a very, very small percentage of the time. Now, this little triangle right above it, you click that, and boom, all those same knobs, all those same buttons turn into other things. This part stays the same, but this knob here is no longer heat and cool. It is my volume and power knob, and this knob over here is tuner and file. Seek for your tracks, the direct button for radio, direct button for media, setup. Now, I like this little start button. So this little start button is going to, again, give us a hotkey for a favorite. But what I like about this is PHeV. So I'm going to make this the PHeV screen so I could show you what it does. But you can make it quiet mode, Kia Connect. You could turn, this car has a Wi-Fi hotspot, so you can turn the Wi-Fi hotspot on and off, which is pretty cool. Or you can just make it none. But now if I hit the star, it's going to take me into my EV screen, my plug-in hybrid screen, your energy screen. So range right there, 31 miles. Energy information, you have 97% of that battery remaining. This again is that illustration of the power distribution like I was saying. Charge management, eco driving, you got your map over there, which you can also collapse right there and make that bigger. Anytime you see that white triangle right there, you can make it bigger or smaller and collapse that menu, and this scrolls up and down. So you have a bunch of things here. Your weather and your calendar you can set up through Kia Connect. Media I have turned off. A lot of different things there. But let's take a look at this screen. So EV range, I'm going to click that. There's a little circle. So it'll tell you any charging station in that EV range that this car can plug into. This car can plug into a level 1 or a level 2 charger. So it's not going to show you any DC fast chargers that you cannot play around with. Obviously that map is scrolled out pretty far, but you can scroll in, scroll out right there. You can zoom in, zoom out. So it's, you're supposed to be able to, there we go, I'm hitting the wrong button. So as you can see, there's a couple of chargers there that now become available the closer I get. But it does show you the range of that car. And it's the range of how much mileage you have now. So it's not just the range of the car, it's the range of your current energy state. You can click list right here, and that'll take you into more conducive looking, user-friendly way to do that. So you can see all of these are chargers in my area here that I can get to. Rivian Waypoint, where's that at? I bet you that's in Canyon City. Colorado Springs. Huh, that's a new one. I haven't seen that one before. They do new charges all the time, so that's actually kind of cool. Rivian has their own charging network, which is really nice. Rivian is the full electric truck, and they have the SUVs now too, but I believe they're free for Rivian customers, but we can use them too, being non-Rivian people. But right there, so let's say we're gonna go to this one here. It's what, 1.5 miles away. You can tell it's a charge point, which is the company for the charger, and I can click set destination, and it'll do that. I'm not going to deactivate that pop-up just because I want, you know, my other customers to be able to figure that out. But there it is. It's starting the guidance. It's going to get us there. We can click add waypoints. Will start now. Super easy. To cancel it, you just click cancel. It'll cancel. If you press and hold that cancel button, you can pause the route. Little house takes us home, takes us back to the main screen here. But again, I want to go back here. I'm going to hit my star, and then let's take a look at energy information. So energy information, a level 2 charger, level 2 right here, AC charger, 240 volts. That's level 2. To get a full battery, it'll take 4 minutes to give you a full battery. A level 1 charger, that's 120 amp, or not amp, 120 plug, that'll take you 20 minutes to get to a full battery. So you can see right there how you can plan your trips, plan your time. Honestly, if you have this car, I highly recommend just charging it every night. Charging it every night, get that 35 miles of electric range, do your thing, come back home, charge it at night again. If you go to a McDonald's and they have one of those new Mic chargers there, that's cool, plug in while you eat. Okay, you're gonna get some range. And ideally that's gonna be the future. That's, you go somewhere, you plug in, you get some range, you leave. You don't need a full charge, you just need enough to get you through your day. Like there's a movie theater here. You go to the movie theater, there's 4 or 5 charges there that are free. You plug in for 2 hours, watch your movie. In 2 hours on a level 2, you're gonna gain, I don't know what, depending upon the charger, you're gonna gain about 25 miles of range, which this thing has a 35-mile thing. In this car, you're gonna get almost a full tank. But hybrids and plug-in hybrids to me are the future. Being an EV owner, I really do think plugins and hybrid plugins and regular hybrids should be what we should be focusing on as a world right now. EVs are nice, don't get me wrong. I own one, I love one, but for the average everyday person, for your grandma, for your grandpa, someone who doesn't need to know a lot of this stuff, this car's fine. This car's awesome. I'm gonna go back a step here. Charge management, you can set departure times, you can do all that kind of stuff. You can set current management. eco driving, this will just give you a little bar graph of how you're doing, which is kind of neat. A little arrow takes you back, a little house takes you home. So one other thing here that I'm going to focus on is if you press and hold one of these buttons, you can default one of those screens. Personally, I like the infotainment screen because I tend to use seek and track a lot. So if I go here, fiddle with my climate, everything's cool, I'm done, it automatically switches back. A lot of people think that is the fact that while you're driving, you have to play around with these buttons, and that's a big drawback. True, but in those same other videos, people probably don't show you that you could default one or the other. So I'm going to leave that off so when I show my next customer, I can illustrate that. Right down here, you have your wireless phone charger, USB port, charging ports down there, 12 volt. You got your heated seats on this model, no air conditioned seats, no heated steering wheel, but you do have heated seats. This is a hybrid, so you have your dial here, reverse, neutral, drive, and park. So when you come to a complete stop and you want to go into park, just press P, you go into park. You have your downward hill assist, auto hold. We already talked about that button. That's your camera. Press that guy, and then you can see your camera. This steering wheel is guided. So as you can see there in the video or in the screen in front of you, you can you can back in easily into things. Super cool. You have a tow mode right here. This car can tow a couple thousand pounds, so you got a nice little tow mode if you fit it with a hitch, but you can set all that. You can also set all kinds of different sensors there. So extended rear view, I personally like that. It just gives you more of a view on that camera. And then your rear view parking lines, it just helps you backing up, but insanely customizable. Drive mode. Drive mode's really cool. So you have your, right there, if you can see, right there, we're in eco, we're in sport, smart, and snow. Snow gives you extra traction, which is really cool. Use that today. When I left for work, ground was covered in snow, but it gets cold and hot here. So by the time it's 11, snow's already melted everywhere. So that's just Colorado for you. I'm going to leave it on eco, but I wanted to show you the different drive modes can change how that front center display looks. You can lock your rear wheels. So if I press that guy right there, you can lock your rear wheels for your rear wheel lock differential. Super easy. Let's talk center controls here. So again, complete touchscreen. You just swipe left and right. We're going to start at the back and go to Kia Connect. Your sales associate should be setting up Kia Connect for you for a variety of different reasons, but they really should be doing this for you at the dealership. This does have, when brand new, a 5-year 60 roadside assistance program, which comes with the car, and inside Kia Connect is the button. If you press that and your car is connected, it will call roadside for you. You can set your calendar, your weather, all of that can be set through Kia Connect in your phone, and then it'll show up on the screen and in your app, which is kind of cool. Go to Kia Connect settings right here, activate service, super easy, agree to terms and conditions, which I'm going to do, and then you just enter your phone number or your email address. It's 10 times easier to do the phone number. It'll send you a link to your phone, follow the link, follow the information, and then it'll send you a code. You put the code in and then click submit and then just wait for the car to activate. It really shouldn't take more than 3 to 4 minutes to get that done. Your username and password, your username should be your phone number and your password is whatever you create on the app, on the app. So super easy to use there. And then you can use remote climate, remote start, vehicle locate. There's all kinds of services you can use for free for the first year. And then after that, Kia has a paid tiered system, kind of like other manufacturers do now. Kia Connect's super easy. You should be using it. It's very, very useful. I'm not going to hit all of these buttons, but again, you have your map. So we kind of looked at that a little bit before. Super easy to use. If you hit the little magnifying glass, then you can type in where you're going. If you're driving, you have to use the voice control over here on the steering wheel. If you're parked at home, then you would be able to, or parked somewhere, you could be able to type it in. Super easy to use. Navigation menu, if you're traveling, the really cool thing about this, I love previous destinations just because if I have to take my kids somewhere and it's some friend's house that we've gone to a million times but I can never remember where they live, previous destinations will tell me. Nearby points of interest, I like that too when we're traveling to find restaurants. Like we can just click on restaurants there, and it'll show us sit down restaurants. And then if you do fast food restaurants, it'll show you the fast food stuff near to you. Same thing as in the EV screen that we were looking at. You have your distances and you can set destination right over there. Little arrows taking me back. You can do some presets down there, work and home, and a couple of favorites, which I do recommend, at least home for that matter. Phone.
Turn Bluetooth on from your device in order to search.
Super easy. It's got Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You should be able to set your Bluetooth settings up in a minute and a half. It's super easy to do. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are under phone projection. You do need a approved USB cable to get that done. If you're having some issues with that, check out your cable. Usually if you're using an aftermarket cable, that's probably why that's not connecting. You just got to use one from Apple or Android. Climate screen, valet mode, quiet mode. Quiet mode's kind of cool. I'm not going to really demonstrate it because YouTube will censor me for the music, but provides sound only to the front seats when the volume is over a certain level, and the volume is cut off in the back seats. So super easy there. Very good with your traveling. Where you're probably going to spend a lot of your time is under setup. Strongly recommend creating a user profile first, and then when you create your user profile, go to vehicle, and then you can play around with all these things in vehicle. Just going up and down right here. You can go to cluster, and then you can change your cluster themes. I was showing you guys theme A, theme B, and theme C. Oops, my finger's hitting it. You can, if you like theme B but don't want to be in sport mode all the time, you can do that, and then it'll keep you with the red. But we're gonna just keep it linked to drive mode. A lot of people like to play around with convenience. You could turn on and off the rear occupancy alert, the wireless phone charging system, the auto rear wiper, all that kind of stuff. Driver assistance, you can turn the safety systems on and off. Play around with some of these vehicle settings for eco, just to kind of help you preserve gas mileage and range. Time, if you ever need to change the time, you just press it, and then you can change the time right up there. If anything you really need to manipulate in this car, you can just press it, and then it should take you to where you want to go. All right, obviously I didn't cover everything in this car, but I think I covered the basics, and it's really, like I said, a super fun car. Oh, let's do the window there. So it goes all the way back. You can open and close it. This takes a little getting used to, just opening up this and not the partition. But you can make the partition go forward, you can make it stop, you can just raise the glass so you could just get air in, all that kind of stuff. You have adjustable seat belts, which we didn't cover. Obviously we didn't cover a lot, but this is a very, very, very nice car. I'm a big fan of it, especially for the money and the longevity. 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty on the battery, and all that good stuff. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comments. I try and get to them, but I've been really, really busy these last 2 months. We've been selling these Kias for sure, and that's why this is my first video in God, 60 days. But we do sell at MSRP. If I can help you find a vehicle, I don't really mess with shipping, so the customer can do that. There's a shipping company that I can tell you that works really well. I sent one of these things, well, I sent a Kia Telluride to New Jersey for like $1,200, so it's not as expensive as you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Apparently there's a tip button if you want to send me $1 or pay for my breakfast or my coffee or something because you made it this far and you're like, hey, that was a cool video, here's $1. Apparently you can do that. I never had anyone do that before, so you'd probably be the first. But there's all kinds of things you can do on YouTube. I'm trying to get my merch store up and running, but everything just takes time, and I didn't have a lot of downtime these last 2 months. But thank you guys if you made it this far. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys down at the dealership. Thank you.